Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brannon, bringing you all of professional wrestling's news, notes, innuendos, and whatever else you can come up with in this great world that is pro wrestling. Welcome, folks. Happy frickin' Friday to everyone. We finally made it. The work week is over, although the work week never really ends, does it? I mean, think about that. Do we ever stop? You know, we don't, and that's okay. That's all right. It's who we are. God bless America. But welcome to the Slow Burn, guys. Very special Slow Burn today. All right. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because in reality it means nothing. But this is show number 100 for the Slow Burn. Now that's excluding Saturday shorts and that stupid shit that I used to try to do when I first started this. But as far as actual Slow Burn shows, this is show number 100. All right. And I am so freaking glad that I've been able to do this. I'm so freaking glad that I've been able to bring you professional wrestling news, notes, and innuendos since December. And, going all the way back to 2024. You know what I mean? No, it's awesome to do what I'm doing. I'm not making a damn dime. I'm spending lots of dimes, I think. It's really been fun for me to do this. I said at the very beginning, my goal of this podcast, my goal of the Slow Burn, is basically to inform people about professional wrestling. But the other thing, it was for me personally. It's for me to be able to talk this thing that I love so much, which is the industry of pro wrestling. And I've been able to do that. I had a lot of ideas going into this show, things that I wanted to do. Numbers of shows per week, specials that I could do, things of that sort, how I could have more of a social media presence. And I've succeeded at some of the stuff I wanted to do, but I've actually, the format of the show has got better, I think, now that I've kind of zeroed in on what it is that we're doing, which is talking about current professional wrestling. Giving my opinions on everything as if it really matters to the 10 of you that listen. But the other thing of it is it's just a way for me to conversate about this. And I know that sounds weird. I talk to a lot of people that follow professional wrestling. Not a ton. I'm very lucky that my wife watches it and enjoys it. So I have someone always to talk to about this stuff and to bounce opinions off of. But now it's a chance for me to get this out there to the masses for the 10 of you that want to listen. The other thing is I wanted to give back to this industry a little bit. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. So we talk about this is the state of the slow burn, guys. And so far, I'd like to think that it's been a success under my eyes and what I wanted to get out of it. I have some followers. I have some subscribers. I do some interactions, a lot of private messaging, which is kind of fun. Message on the freaking post too. That would be fantastic. But I'm doing anywhere from 4 to 5 shows a week, usually 5 shows a week, where we're doing it Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and then Sundays being our slow burn weekend review. This format is working for me. 30-minute shows works for me. All right. Would eventually down the road I like to extend that? Absolutely. But at the same time, let's also keep in mind the slow burn is also a history teacher and a coach. So things get busy. So, being able to keep this up right now, much easier during the summer. But the thing of it is I want to grow. All right. One of the things I was so proud of, what I had become involved in when I started this down when I was living in the CSRA, North Augusta, South Carolina, big up. One of the things I wanted to do was get involved in the independent scene. And I was able to do that very successfully, I thought, helping those shows out when I can. Although I'm not seeing as much stuff as I used to. I guess it's, the freaking algorithms of Facebook and all that shit. But, that was kind of a whole awesome thing for me, is to get involved with the independent shows, to watch people grow. I'm lucky enough to say I was ground floor witnessing Sean Legacy, who's going to be a huge superstar moving forward. There's a guy in the Georgia Carolinas area. I know he's all over the place now too. Drew Hood is going to be an absolute superstar. I'm lucky enough to watch a guy that's all over the internet right now. Ben Bishop has done amazing. I love the fact that I was able to get involved with these indie shows. something that I want to do here in the St. Louis area. And that's one of the growth targets that I have coming up. One of my goals is to start getting involved in indie shows. I'm going to an indie show next week, also a couple meet and greets. I'll talk a little bit about that next week as we get going. I also have some tickets for a few other indie shows coming up. And yeah, I mean, I buy my own tickets. Lucky enough in the CSRA, I was able to create some connections, do some advertising, help out, and eventually grow. So, that's what I want to do here in the St. Louis area as well, is get involved in this independent scene and go from there. Eventually, I've said before, I'd like to get into some interviews. Hard to do that, recapping everything and only having 30-minute shows. One of my goals is to do a weekly interview show where I have one day where I show, an interview that I do with either an independent wrestler, an independent promoter, hell, a referee, maybe somebody that we've seen on TV. You got to shoot for the stars. So that's one of my big goals. That's something that I would like to do before the year ends. I want my following to grow, obviously. I want my subscribing stuff to grow. I want to be more of a presence on Spotify. That's something that I've just started doing. I felt like I was ready for that. I made the jump. Right now, it's not doing a whole lot, but it could catch on. So, regardless though, I'm doing it. I may, once school gets started, I may have to decrease the number of shows I do. But right now, my goal is to keep it 5 shows a week and to keep giving you guys, all 10 of you, as much wrestling news as I possibly can. Actually, one of my faithful listeners told me, not long ago, actually. It made me feel really good. He actually said, I don't watch as much wrestling anymore because I don't have to. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Although I'm here to promote wrestling, guys. Watch it, and then you hear my opinions and go from there. I'm not just Sports Center of wrestling, right? I'm not just giving you scores and highlights. What I'm doing here is I'm also bringing you in opinions, thought-provoking things that can get you going in this world of professional wrestling. So it's been a joy for 100 episodes. This is number 100, right? I've made it that far, and I haven't been kicked off the internet yet. Not bad. Also, haven't been told by professional wrestling people that I'm an absolute clown. So that was a huge goal of mine too, was to be accepted on a small level. And I think that started to happen here and there, and it grows and it grows. Also, got to thank some of my people that's helped me with this growth in the CSRA, man. Promoters, Josh Fields with Next Level Championship Wrestling, Josh Hancock. With Viral Pro Wrestling, Timothy Blackman with Extreme. Love the stuff that you guys were doing, or with IWE rather. Sorry, IWE stuff was fantastic. And then my guys online, man, the people that I've been dealing with online. My guys at FTR Follow the Revolution. Such an awesome thing. My guys at Cruising with Kayfabe, such an awesome thing you guys do. Appreciate everything you've done for me. Legends of Wrestling, thank you for everything you've done for me. Cauliflower Alley Club, that was an awesome one for me. There's so many more. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, awesome. And so many more. Matt Cardona. There's just a lot that have even if it was a small interaction with me, it was something that meant something. So I know there's so many more. Also, the other thing that I want to do before I go forward is the guys at the Barn Media Group. All right, my boys down in the Lead Belt representing St. Francis County, Chad, all the crew down there. Thanks for helping. Thanks for promoting us a little bit. Thanks for all that you do, and got me started in this. You were a motivation for me to do this. So thank you for all of that with Chad and Micah, all the stuff you gave me with my media and my graphics and all that. Thank you so much. And we're gonna keep going, man. Let's see how big we can grow. That's it. Now. Let's jump into the wrestling. Enough self-gratification or de-gratification of the slow burn today. All right. Because we have TNA to talk about. TNA Impact last night scored it a B plus. It was a decent show. I will say I missed. I told you guys that the show was going to be in New York. I thought that it was live, maybe, but then when I read how long the card was, I realized that maybe this show wasn't live. I said that on the show yesterday. I wasn't sure. It was definitely recorded. It was pre-taped, and it happened in fucking Pittsburgh again. I will be good if I never see a wrestling show in Pittsburgh for the rest of my life. I feel like I'm just downgrading them for like 4 weeks straight, and I kind of have. But it was in Pittsburgh. I missed it, but I know now we're headed to New York. All right, we got Slammiversary coming up. It is Sunday. It is going to be such an amazing show. I cannot wait for this. Um, yeah, I mean, Slammiversary is going to give us everything. I've always considered Slammiversary to be TNA's biggest pay per view. I know they like to say sometimes it's Bound for Glory. I know Bound for Glory is always stacked, but for me, man, Slammiversary is the premier event for TNA. WrestleMania for WWE, All In, obviously for AEW. Wrestle Kingdom. You know, we got that of New Japan. And for TNA, I've always thought Slammiversary. I always have. Just kind of what it is. I guess for New Japan, I should have said G1 Climax too, right? All kind of right there. But this TNA show is going to be a little bit better, a little bit bigger, a little bit more than what we've ever had with a TNA show. They are projecting the largest in America TNA gate that they've ever done. It's close to selling out. They look like 10,000 people, which is amazing for a TNA gate. And why not? Because the card is freaking stacked. I'm not going over the card today because it's that good. I'll talk about a couple things. But as far as the card, I will preview it all tomorrow. I can't wait to preview it. We'll have Collision to preview as well tomorrow, along with our SmackDown recap. So TNA started off with Moose defending the X Division title against Sami Callihan. These two have had wars against each other. The action in ring was vicious. The mic work after the match was vicious. Jeez, Moose, that was almost too mean. It worked out really, really well, though. I thought it was nice because Sammy's fun to watch sometimes. I know he's kind of a lot of people think he's on the back end of his career. He still has a lot to offer, I think. So a downtrodden Sammy Callahan could be very fun. By the way, Moose finishes him off. Still, I believe maybe the best spear going today outside of a couple people. One of my favorite spears of all time is Moose. But Moose took care of business afterwards. Like I said on the mic, he basically tells Sammy to get his fat ass out of his ring. Literal words. He actually said that. I quote. Told him that he needed to retire. Said he had nothing left for the business. For a minute there, I kind of thought maybe we were getting that. Sammy unlaces his boots because Moose said, "Leave your boots in the ring and get the hell out." And I thought, is this really? No. And he doesn't. He just unlaces them and then he heads up the ramp. But you could tell he was very, very downtrodden by it. He was very upset. So Moose then introduces them as the greatest faction in professional wrestling, the System. As the System comes down, do you want to know something? We had Eddie Edwards, Alesha Edwards obviously bringing them out. We had Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and JDC. They were scheduled to take on Order 4. Mustafa Ali, along with my boy Johnny Skyler and Jason Hotch. This match doesn't happen. All right. I was really looking forward to this match because I've been saying for a while that a System babyface turn could be really fun. Um, I don't think it will last. It shouldn't last. It doesn't need to last, but it could be kind of fun moving on. So I kind of thought this was maybe the opening. I should have known after Tuesday's NXT with the System coming down and taking out Dark State. I should have known that Dark State was going to have a presence here. They come down, they jump the System. Odd to me that they didn't interact with Order 4 whatsoever. But they end up taking out the System, and Mustafa Ali in Order 4, they're just on the ramp laughing. I thought that was really good storytelling. I also had no clue how much of a role Dark State was going to play in this show, and obviously now they're going to get their spot on Slammiversary. So a decent spot to see a couple guys that I think have a pretty good future in Osiris Griffith and Saquon Sugars, so from Dark State. So we'll see what happens. All right, but the match doesn't happen. Dark State interrupts everything. They wear them down, and then here we go. All right, the match is now going to be kind of getting a little further up. We know we're going to get more of this because it is now set up. We've seen it Tuesday on NXT. System runs in on Dark State. And then now Thursday on Impact, we see Dark State once again running in on the System. It happens again later in the show. So really good storytelling, quick storytelling that I kind of enjoyed. So Danny Luna, she had a promo backstage. Remember, Spitfire broke up not longer. They wanted to do some single stuff. So Danny Luna was taking on Tessa Blanchard. Writing on the wall. Danny Luna's pretty fun to watch. She's strong, fun to watch. Doesn't sell as great as maybe, but that'll get better too. I really think I was very impressed with Danny Luna actually, and I'm always impressed with Tessa Blanchard. So Tessa goes over. Gets her. By the way, Victoria Crawford on the outside, it's like sometimes she doesn't know whether or not she wants to interfere. It's almost like I know it's not like the conscience. I know it's just thinking in the process of the match. I get all that, but man, she seems reluctant a few times, and maybe it's just something that I'm seeing. But it was what it was. By the way, if you don't know, Victoria was out there with Tessa. So Tessa goes over, like I said, and then Victoria does come in afterwards. They beat the hell out of Danny Luna. I'm sitting here thinking that Jody Thread is going to come in, the former Spitfire, and this is how Spitfire gets back together. No, it's Indy Hartwell, and Indy looked really good, by the way. But Indy makes the save. Backstage, Danny Luna was hurt. Indy was with her. In walks Jody Threat. Basically says, "Hey, what the hell happened?" Danny Luna calls her out. He's like, "She helped me. Where were you at? Why didn't you help me?" And I think we're definitely getting to a different type of tag team split. They've already split up doing their single stuff. Now, even as separation, I think we're going to see a feud between Jody and Danny. I think that could be pretty good. And Indy playing the peacemaker, not too bad of a piece. So I don't know. It was okay. It was okay. The one thing I will say about this story is Tessa and Indy is going to be very, very good. Matter of fact, it could be a dark horse for match of the night at Slammiversary. I just think that these two they're both so physical, so aggressive. I think that this could be a very, very good match. And we'll get good storytelling out of it because Tessa usually does a great job with that. So we'll see what happens. Speaking of women's tag teams, we had an inspiration promo. They showed the backstage or the footage. It was at a meet and greet that they were doing. It was like coming from a fan. Great freaking job, by the way. That's awesome storytelling. But they're at a meet and greet. Ash by Elegance comes in. Ash starts knocking over everything and then basically leads to a melee at a meet and greet, at a convention, something of that sort. I wish I had been at that freaking convention. How awesome would that have been? But regardless, Elegance comes down. The Elegance brand comes down, and what we hear from Ash is that she's been fined $500,000 because of her actions at the meet and greet. Inspiration caused all of this, and the fans caused all of this because it was a fan's video that got her caught. That's great damn storytelling. All right. I wasn't at all interested in this story until last night. And the great thing about it is then it grew because Ash calls out Masha because Ash, she won that battle royal last week. She's got a contract where she can get a title shot now. She calls out Masha. Masha comes down. She interrupts. This whole thing was really good stuff. I enjoyed it. After this was all over with, you had that interaction with Masha and then Ash, which we know we're going to get down the road. Makes you kind of wonder if the writing isn't on the wall for Masha this weekend. I just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. I'll do my predictions tomorrow. Or yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. That's right. Happy Friday. After this, we got to see the hometown man. All right. Everyone's saying it's Cody Deaner. I don't know. The guy can go. Cody Deaner hadn't been a winner in a while. I love Cody Deaner. Another one of the guys I should have thanked for interactions online, by the way. Cody does such a good job with his fans. Hometown man, I haven't had any interaction with him, so I'm not really sure exactly how that's going to go. But hometown man goes over Judas Icarus, continuing that feud between the hometown man and the Northern Armory. Eric Young comes down and looks like a angry toddler strutting around. Glad he's growing the beard back though. Hometown man, this is kind of working. This is actually really good stuff. I like comedic storylines like this at times because it can break the monotony. You guys know I've talked about it in WWE. I have been a huge fan of El Grande Americano. I put Hometown Man on that same list. All right. And the biggest reason is because Hometown Man's music is some of the best walkout entrance themes that you'll ever hear. He's a hometown man. You got to check it out. I just really, really good stuff. Judas Icarus, once again, great job. The guy pulls off the lunatic stuff really, really well. I love how he kept taunting at Hometown Man. I know who you are. That was really good. So the match was, I liked it. I liked it. I know it's a filler. I get all that. We're getting Hometown Man and Eric Young. I understand all that. But this worked. And I like Judas Icarus. So, there you go. I was very surprised we get to see the fourth rope again. If you don't know who the fourth rope is, it is the real one, formerly known as Enzo Amore of WWE. Enzo, one of the greatest promo guys in the world. I was at a convention, and Enzo, at his meet and greets, was actually charging people to record promos. He would cut a promo on that person standing right there, recorded on that person's phone. I think it was like $50 or something like that. That's genius. All right. And Enzo's that good on the mic. He says he's coming. The fourth rope is coming to Slammiversary. I like this. Enzo solid in the ring. But the biggest thing I like about this was what Enzo said of who's coming with him. He basically said fourth rope world champion is Zilla Fatu, and Zilla is coming. Are you freaking serious? Finally, we're getting him on television. That's all I can say. Love Zilla. Was lucky enough to say I met him. Super, super awesome guy. Laid back but high strung at the same time and ultra violent in the ring, man. I love it. I absolutely love me some Zilla. But that wasn't the only person, the clue that he said. He also said, and a Bishop will be coming with him. All right. I hope to goodness we're talking about Bishop Dyer, aka Baron Corbin of the WWE. I want Bishop Dyer representing Pro Wrestling Nation in the Busted Open crew. I hope it's Bishop. I really do. I hope that's what we're getting out of this. Man, oh man, that'll be special. That could be a storyline headed post Slammiversary of TNA that I will jump all over. All right. What else? We need to get rolling here. Steve Macklin issued an open challenge at Slammiversary. We'll find out tomorrow who that's going to be. Who knows who that's going to be? We shall see. Matt Cardona comes down. He's going to take on a local named Jake Painter. I only mention his name because you know what? Decent job, young man. The bell doesn't even get to ring. Cardona gets the mic, and he calls out Dark State. Jake Painter and Cardona's getting ready to lock up, and Dark State's music hits, lights go out, and then boom, Jake Painter backs up with Cardona. He's back to back with him, man. He's ready to throw with the Dark State, and he gets wiped off the face of the earth very, very fast. So Cardona's getting worn out by the Dark State, and then the system makes the save. All right. Then we get the match set up for Slammiversary. The system, along with Matt Cardona. I love that tag up. They're going to take on Dark State. Can you hear my kid yelling in the background back there? This is all over a Mickey Mouse show. I love my life sometimes. You can deal with it. So that's the deal here. We're getting the system in Cardona. Why is that so special to me? Because Brian Myers and Matt Cardona together again. I love them as a group. They're best friends. I love their toys. Awesome. Let's go. Major Bendies for life, baby. We finished the show with a Hardy promo. A promo party is what I listed it as. Because the Hardys come down. They're kind of worried about themselves. They don't know if they're able to do it anymore and all this. Well, I got it. I mean, this is a setup. If you're a wrestling fan, you knew what was coming. And I'm okay with this. And a lot of people might say they were chasing the hug. That's bullshit. They're the Hardys. They can do whatever they want. The Hardy pop is real. All right. I always say there's only one pop that is consistently as loud, maybe louder at times than the Hardy pop, and that's the Road Warrior pop. All right. Everybody knows that. It's not a freaking thing. I'm not talking about returning and something that happened at a one night at WrestleMania. I'm talking about consistent pop. Nobody beats the Hardys. And be honest, if they wanted to talk their way of getting back involved in this, by all means do it. You've earned it. Awesome, awesome. But Leon Slater comes out, he talks him up, tells him how much of an inspiration they are to him. He wouldn't be where he was. We know that. Leon Slater can't wait for that match with Moose, by the way, on Sunday. Then all the tag teams come down, the Slammiversary match. We're going to have the Hardys, the Rascals, First Class, and the Nimbus, who are the champions. They're going in a ladder match, four-way ladder match. Tag team. This is going to be absolute chaos in the greatest of possible ways, right? But they all end up coming out. Hardy's and the ladder end up cleaning house. Hardy's looked absolutely fire here. Um, I'm hoping. I'm hoping that Trey Miguel is good to go for Sunday. I'm hoping so that we have a full Rascals situation here. It was nice to see them at the end of all of this, especially Zachary Wentz. But the Hardys cleaning house, man, that gives me a premonition that I believe the Hardys are taking these belts back home with them. That's just what I'm thinking. So, the biggest thing of this, though, is that we know what we're going to get. This match is going to be so damn good. So damn good. I can't wait for it. It's going to steal the show, guys. It's definitely going to steal the show. All right. Main event, Joe Hendry and Santana. They take on Frankie Kazarian and Trick Williams. They go over. It's not even really a problem. Once again, it was just a match. It was great storytelling by every guy involved in this. Love seeing the issues between the three guys that are going to be the main event for Slammiversary in Trick, Hendry, and Santana. This main event setup has been so special for the last few weeks on TNA programming, on NXT programming. The whole thing has been so fun. Can't wait to see come to that great grand end on Sunday. It's going to be really fun. This show is going to be so damn good. I'm a little bit excited for it. So we scored the show a B plus. Now the biggest thing though that I'm taking going into Slammiversary did not come from this show necessarily. I posted this on the Facebook machine earlier today on the Slow Burn page. Guys, what we're going to get at Slammiversary is the return of AJ Styles. Now, if you are a TNA fan, you know exactly how huge this is. AJ Styles, thought of as being one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, definitely the most underrated wrestler of all time, in my opinion. The guy has got it done all over the world. It's so glad he finally got a chance to showcase his skills on WWE in the last few years. However long it's been now. But he is a TNA legend. When I think of TNA, I think of AJ Styles. You throw a couple others in there, obviously. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett, Kurt Angle. That's probably my TNA Mount Rushmore. I'm not writing that down, all right? Not laminated yet. So, but AJ making his appearance is going to be so big. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be special. And, yeah, if you didn't see the preview thing, check out the Slow Burn Facebook page and click on the TNA stuff that I posted. All right. All right. SmackDown tonight. All right. I'm going to have to end this show because my kid is literally pitching a huge fit right now. I don't know if you can hear him. The E's are a little aggressive. But the SmackDown preview tonight, live from San Antonio, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern on USA. 2-hour show. Don't forget that. We don't have any matches scheduled just yet. We know Cena and Cody are there, going to be a face-to-face. That's going to be great. Tiffy and Jade both scheduled to appear. They'll probably end up getting physical on some way. Would like to see maybe a tag match or something work out here. And then we're also going to get some stuff added to the Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. By the way, if you didn't get a chance to see the Jimmy Kimmel show, I believe it was from Wednesday, but Jelly Roll was a guest host. Randy was on there. Drew and Randy end up going out. Let's say the Kimmel desk gets destroyed, and you should check that out. It did happen, by the way. So interesting to see where Randy and Drew end up going with this. So huge night tonight on SmackDown. Huge weekend coming up with Slammiversary. We also have Collision tomorrow. Let's not forget about that, even though it will be pre-taped. No spoilers, okay? Folks, thanks for joining me here on the Slow Burn on this lovely, lovely Friday, episode 100. You see the confetti and the streamers and everything going off, right? And thanks for joining me all this time. I appreciate it, all 10 of you. Thanks for all you do for the Slow Burn. Guys, if you're new to it, subscribe, like, share, comment, do as much as you can. Help the Slow Burn, and I'll keep bringing you this great professional wrestling news, folks. So remember, in this world. We're wrestling everything. So stay on top. This has been the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live.